was talking to a friend last week who is working on his coaching certification, and we were talking about how my own tapping coaching business is going. And I admitted that it's kind of fallen out of focus, I guess. I've kind of gotten away from it a little bit. It wasn't feeling quite aligned anymore. I know that I still want to do something with tapping, but it wasn't feeling as authentic as I wanted it to be. And he pointed out or helped me come to realize that the way that I used to use tapping, it doesn't really fit into my lifestyle anymore. And what I mean by that is when I found tapping, I was struggling immensely with my mental health, just dealing with all kinds of stuff. And I needed tapping to help me survive. I needed tapping to process all of the hurt, process all of the pain, and just basically to be able to show up for life. And I came to realize that I was still trying to use tapping in that way, but that's not who I am anymore. I've very much healed so much of the stuff that was holding me back and that was making me feel so sad and off and down. So, continuing to use tapping in that way, use tapping in that way wasn't working for me, but I was also, trying to approach it that way with my clients. And, that's not to say that I don't still work with clients who are in that place. I absolutely do. But my approach is a little bit different. The process is the same. The results are, it all comes to the same endpoint, but the way that I use it is a little bit different. I'm not using it to live anymore. I'm not using it to survive anymore. It's time to use it to really thrive and really start showing up. So I'm going to start doing some videos, just how to use tapping in everyday life. One example you'll see coming up is a trip to the cemetery for a child that I lost at a very young age. And you'll see me, tap through the emotions that come up and just kind of guide you how you can use tapping for that purpose for yourself. So that's what you're going to be seeing from me in the coming months, weeks, years. But just a grounded approach, ways that you can use tapping every day. Yes, you can use it for the big stuff, the traumas, the betrayals, the grief, the anxiety, the depression, all of that. It still applies to all of that. You'll just see, some of the videos that you'll be seeing from me include, more, like I said, more everyday things, wanting to visit the cemetery, but struggling with that. Wanting to try out a new coffee shop in town, but feeling a little anxiety in that way. Just, wanting to get out more in person and, show up more in person and online. And I know, based on conversations that I have every single day, that I am not the only one who is struggling to show up the way that I really want to show up. Yeah, so I am very grateful to everybody who has supported me along my journey this far, and I am so looking forward to the next phase as I let go of all the old story and the limiting beliefs and just the anxiety about what people think about me showing up online. If people don't like it, they can keep scrolling. And that goes for, for you too, for you showing up. If you're afraid to show up, like most people are, let me know, and I'll be sure to do some tapping for you.